If you do any work with async in Python, one of the biggest frustrations you've probably run into by now is how opaque async can be. It's difficult to get useful introspection into async tasks and into the async stack generally. Now, all that has changed with a new feature in Python 3.14, one that leverages the new debugging tools also introduced with that version of Python, which I covered in a previous video. You can now take a running Python process and use another instance of Python to live inspect its async task queue. And you don't need any third-party libraries to do it, just Python 3.14 for the async program and for your inspection. So let's see how this works in action. My demo for this, by the way, is taken more or less verbatim from the Python 3.14 What's New document, where they demonstrate how to hook into a running process and get information about its async tasks. The demo program they use for this is a sort of fake music player, one that has multiple levels of async tasks. The top level runs the main function as a task, and the main function creates two sets of tasks, two playlists of songs, and each song playlist launches individual tasks to play songs. Now you'll notice that with each create task function, we're providing a name that describes what the task is about. This is something we don't see when running the program itself. It's internal. These names only show up in our introspection of the async stack, so you'll see them in a moment. So when we run this program and let it run in the background, you'll notice one of the first things it does is print out the process ID for the program. We'll need this to do the introspection, which we do with another command in another terminal. py-3.14-m async io ps, and then we provide the process ID. Now when we run this, we get a one-time snapshot of the program's async task stack at that moment. We can see the names of the tasks, the coroutine stacks for the tasks, and the awaiter chain, which is the list of tasks waiting on that task to complete. Now this view is useful, but it can be a little hard to parse because the lines can be quite long, and one good way to deal with this is to dump it to a text file and then read it with line wrapping turned off, like this. I'll repeat the last command with a pipe to a file, and then we can open that file in an editor and see it a little more clearly. This also isn't the only view that we can take with this data. If we supply a slightly different command, pstree instead of ps, we can dump the tasks out to the console in a tree format, which makes it easier to see what started each task and what's waiting on what. Even better, the tree view gives us exact line numbers for at what point in the code each task is waiting at. This is the kind of clarity you could once only get from logging or printing to the console or via some third-party package. Now you have it natively. Now, people have asked me, with Python's free threaded version now widely available, does that mean async will go away or become less useful? Honestly, I don't think so. Async is for situations where it isn't practical to create thousands of threads, or where you have tasks that don't need full parallelism to be effective. There's going to be good use cases for async going forward, and that means having good tooling for it built into Python, like this new introspection tooling in 3.14. That's going to add a lot of value. So that's it for this episode. If you liked it, leave a comment below, and don't forget to follow Dev with Serdar and InfoWorld on Facebook, YouTube, and InfoWorld.com.